Super common. Blankets. Now, Gay, you can just do this on the floor without this bolster set up because, so take your blanket in hand. Oops. Guess I didn't need to undo this. And then be like this. So this is the shape. Okay. And actually the other way. So Lindsay, so that would have been a pretty fat bolster. Yeah, so this way, it's gonna be a really skinny bolster. You know, knowing of course that you can always make it skinnier, right? And you just unfurl part of it. Okay. Here we go. Here. Having blanket issues, all right. All right, here we go. Okay, so we just have this long skinny bolster. And then that's gonna go, this is what we're back bending over. Right. So at any point, if it doesn't feel good in your spine, you just, you know, either unfurl part of it, make a even skinnier bolster, or just take it off all together. You can do it, you can do this whole sequence flat on the floor. And then go ahead and replacing the bolster. So it would be, think about if you were wearing a bra strap or like a heart rate monitor. Right across the back ribs there.
Cold air.
Yeah,
You have really cold
air. It's terrible
here.
cold.
It's okay,
Yeah, just.
yeah, I don't like that.
I know.
Gotta do
I think it's maybe the fan. So if I turn the fan off. There. Oh, you know what? It switched to. Yeah, it's freezing.
Yeah,
It switched to air conditioning.
That's
Well, I can feel it. Yeah, okay, well, thank you for saying that. Okay, there we go. We're back to heat.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And then go ahead and lay down. I would probably start with your knees bent, but you know, if your legs straight feels good, you could do that. Did the air kick back on?
It's cool.
Oh, what is happening? Okay, I'm gonna start you guys doing something and I'm gonna check that out again. So inhale, take the arms up over your head. We're not lifting the pelvis like dynamic bridge. It's just the arms. And then exhale, take your arms down by your side. Okay, so that's all it is. Just inhale, arms up, exhale, arms down. Love it. It's a ghost. Yeah. We are a week away. Okay, now, when you take your arms up and you're at the top of the inhale, you could pause for a beat or two. Taking that breath hold, and then go ahead and when you feel the urge to exhale, just release your arms down by your side. Only doing that breath hold at the top of the inhale if it feels like there's ease. If you're gasping for air on the next breath, then you know, oh, okay.
I either held my breath too long, or I'm not gonna hold it at all. And I'm just gonna keep it more seamless. Just do a couple more right here. Next time your arms come down, the next move, I'm gonna walk my feet in just a little closer. And then take the hands behind the head like an old fashioned sit up. Okay, so inhale, the elbows will go wide. And then as you exhale, lift your head and chest. You have to readjust where you are in the bolster. Now, we're not flattening the low back into the mat because, you know, we're up on this little height here. But we are flexing the spine. So the tailbone is curling up to the ceiling. This is the exhale. And then you inhale, lower down, elbows wide, even lift your chin. And then exhale, curling up. Again, if it doesn't feel good for this little bolster on your upper back, then, you know, you can just get rid of it. Okay, now next time you exhale up, you're also gonna lift one leg. So it's like your elbows and your knee are gonna draw towards each other. Okay, so just lifting one leg. And then you lower that leg back down, lower the head back down. Exhale, curling up, lifting the other leg. So all you guys are on the email list here, so you know that we're doing, you know, it's a full body class, but we're doing some work for the shoulders. Let's do one more with the right leg lifted. One more with the left leg lifted. Okay. Next time you come down, we'll release the hands, take the hands up towards the ceiling. So the palms are facing each other, fingertips reaching towards the sky. Okay. All right, now from here, I'm gonna flip my palms so that the fingers are coming out to the side, so to the right and to the left. So the palms are to the ceiling. I'm flipping, you can look at me if you're not quite sure. So I'm flipping the palms to the right and the left. It's like you're carrying a tray here. Okay. Now spread your fingers wide. So we're really spreading the palmar fascia here. Okay. Keep your elbows straight. And then slowly tap your fingers down to the floor. So you're making like this stop sign, and then go ahead and bring them back up. Okay. So I'm just keeping the hands spreading wide, lowering down, tap the floor, and come back up. I would move on inhale. So as you inhale, you open out to the side. As you exhale, you close the arms together. Let's do two more. Okay. Very, very nice. And then go ahead and release your arms down by your side. Okay, now I'm gonna roll onto one side. I'm rolling on my left side, but you can really do, if you wanna face, you know, me, you can be on either side. This bottom arm is supporting the head. Both knees will draw in. So I still have the bolster here. Now it's on the side ribs. And this top arm, the free arm, is gonna reach out in front of you. Okay, fingertips down. And then you'll just slide that, we've done this before. You take the arm up over your head, making a 360, and you almost roll onto your back. So my head kind of comes off with that arm just momentarily. And then you circle the arm down by your side. Now, if this doesn't feel good for the shoulder, you can modify by placing your fingertips on your shoulder, okay? And then you would just make this circle with your elbow. So you are rotating into a twist, rolling toward the ceiling, and then you come back to that side lying child's pose. And let's do 3 more. This one here. Okay, next time the arm rolls up, you're just gonna roll onto your back. Take a belly rib wrap here. Okay, and then let's just roll to the other side. So roll, roll, roll. You still got that top underneath of your rib cage. I'm supporting the head with that bottom arm. Okay, so just see if you can get a feel for that. And this top arm is gonna reach out in front of you. And here's where we make this big rainbow. Rainbow. It's actually more like a circle. You're rolling into the twist, and then you come back into that sideline child's pose. Your rib cage rolls towards the floor. And let's take 3 more. Again, remember that you can modify by placing your fingertips on your shoulder.
Is this kind of somatic?
Yeah, we're definitely doing somatic work. Yeah. We're going to this weekend too, by the way, in our retreat. Okay, so go ahead and from that last one, you're just gonna come up to take the bolster off. Okay, so now you're just coming onto your back with no props. Okay. And then from here, let's see, what was the next one? One more somatic move. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is like robot arms. Okay, so the elbows are coming straight up from the shoulders. Fingertips are reaching towards the sky, and the palms are facing like away from you, like towards your feet. Okay, and then inhale, arch through your low back, and you're going to send your back of your hand towards the floor. And then you'll exhale, flatten your low back, and you're going to send your palms down. But I'm keeping the elbows right where they are. Okay, so inhale, we go into external rotation. You're arching through your back. Exhale, flatten through your back, and the hands are down. That's internal rotation. So feel the unfurling on the inhale. And there's this feeling of closing off. And it's definitely, you know, you're going into flexion, right? On the exhale. Let's take 2 more. Just work with the range that feels good, right? You don't have to, you know, push or, you know, force the movement. Okay, nice. And then from here, Let's take the hands behind the head again. Now lift the feet off of the ground, so your knees are drawing in towards your chest. Then I'm gonna keep the elbows wide, but just lift the head so it's hovering off of the ground. Okay, so I'm not lifted up like a sit-up. I'm just barely lifted off the ground. The elbows are wide. Inhale here. And then exhale, I'm gonna take one elbow towards one hip. Okay, and then you inhale back to center. And then you exhale, take the other elbow to the other hip. You're doing like a hip hike. So it's like you're a record player spinning, or it's like your record spinning on a record player. So it's this movement of the ribs and the hip are drawing towards each other. So it's like, convex on one side, or I guess concave on one side, and then it's convex on the other side. So see if you can feel the shortening on one side of the body and a lengthening on the other side. Okay, just a couple more here. Is there still cold air coming through? It just started again.
Maybe the weather is dictating.
Okay, so there is that.
Yeah.
So we do have, we have a vent system where the outside air blows in here. So it might be.
There are apple trees blooming in front of the parking lot, so maybe.
I know, isn't that crazy? Yeah.
I've seen it
Maybe
somewhere
they-
else too.
Maybe the heating system is.
Yeah, it's confusing things. Okay, one more to each side. Working the side core here, elbows are still wide. Okay, come back into the center, lower the feet, lower the arms. Okay, take a belly rib breath. Okay, now it's dynamic bridge. So slowly peeling your hips up, taking your arms up. Possibly pausing at the top. And then when you need to exhale, just go ahead and segment your spine back down. Let's take 3 more. Maybe taking that pause at the top of the inhale, full of breath. Pause, pause, pause. When you feel the urge to exhale. Okay. Exhale down. All right, now just hug your knees into your chest. And then let's rock all the way up to seated. Okay. Take your hands behind you and your feet are going to be, pretty wide here. And then just drop your knees to one side. And then windshield wiper over to the other. So we do this a lot on our back. So here we are just doing it in seated. Okay. So I would take your feet wider, Dan, let go pretty wide. There you go. Okay, good. Now, next time your knees are over to the right, pause there. That right hand is going to be back behind you for support. And this free arm, the left arm, is just going to sweep across your body and rotate your chest and your ribs down to the floor. This will be the inhale. And then exhale, like you're taking a bow and arrow, draw that elbow back and squeeze that shoulder blade, that left shoulder blade. And then you inhale, think about that shoulder blade moving away from you. And then you exhale, hug that shoulder blade in towards the spine. So, we're working the shoulders tonight, but you can't work the shoulders without thinking about the shoulder blades. right? I mean, it's a different joint. They move differently, but they're so connected. Let's take, two more. Okay, next time the arm reaches back behind you, go ahead and pop up onto your knees. And we'll just take a little reach here. Sometimes it's called stargazer. Now you could think of almost back bend in here, as long as the back of the neck has some length to it, right? So I wouldn't want to do this pose where I'm really lifting the chin, you know, aggressively. So you want to have some length in the back of the skull. One more breath here, inhale. Exhale, lower your hips, bring your arms across, back behind you. Here we go again. Okay, next time they come over to the left, I'm going to keep that left hand back behind me, and just for support there. And then as you're ready, you'll sweep this free arm down towards the floor. Think of that shoulder blade reaching, right? And then as you exhale, you're gonna draw back like the bow of an arrow. Inhaling. Exhale. Squeeze that right shoulder blade. And let's take two more. Okay, now next time you reach down, okay, back behind you, you're gonna pop up onto your knees. Yeah, you can think back bend, also lifting your chin, but again, not so much that it's, you know, like a crank in the back of the neck. One more breath here. Exhale, lower your hips, sweep your arm across, bring it back behind you. Okay, now here's our last little windshield wiper with the hands supported, or you could experiment with no hands, right, which is, it's actually more hip strength than, you know, upper body, but give it a go. Nice. Well done. How's that feeling, Gay? Looks good. Good, yeah. Okay, one more to each side. Okay, and then let's make our way to downward dog. Spread your fingers wide. Release your head. Release your ears. On your next inhale, come forward into plank pose. Bring your shoulders over your wrists, press the crown of the head on that front wall, and then exhale down dog. Okay, two more times like that. Okay, next time you come into dog pose, stay. Let's lift that right leg. Exhale, getting that foot up between your hands. And then just little bounces here. So just bounce, bounce, bounce. And then go ahead and slow that down. Twist to the right. Inhale. Exhale, float your hand down. Step back down dog. Inhale the left leg. Exhale, step your foot up. Okay, so first, just little bounces. Remember, you can always support with 2 blocks. Stick with 2 blocks. So I'm just lifting and lowering the pelvis, working on elasticity of the fascia. Okay, and then go ahead and slow that down. And then we'll twist open to the left. Inhale. Exhale, put your hand down. Okay, down to 1. Okay. Plank pose. Bring your shoulders over your wrist. And then lower down your knees. Okay. So this is the push-up plus. So I'm going to keep the elbows straight. I'm going to allow the shoulder blades to trough. So they're coming together. And then you push away and you round your upper back. Shoulder blades are drawing away from each other, keeping the elbows straight, trough the upper back, and then you push the upper back away. Keep the elbows straight as you do this. Now, you're in plank pose, but you're just on your knees, right? So your hips are coming forward. So the muscle we're strengthening, let's just do 2 more, it's called the serratus anterior, and it's kind of like the psoas of your upper body. So it offers a lot of support, especially for the shoulder. Okay, good. And then let's just come back into active child's pose. So tuck the toes under, reach the arms forward. It's called push-up plus. We'll do it 1 more time. Okay, but here, let's just go ahead and come forward and come all the way onto your belly. Okay. Now, the hands are gonna stack just one on top of the other, right on the sacrum, so right on the pelvis. And on the inhale, I'm gonna reach that right arm and the left leg. Okay, so opposite arm and leg. Now notice that the right arm is forward, okay? So the right ear is gonna come down to the floor on your exhale. Bring your right ear down. Sweep the left arm, right leg. Now take your left ear down. So really nice movement for the neck. Alternating arm and leg. Whatever arm is up overhead, that's the ear that's gonna come down. Okay, let's do 1 more with the right arm up, 1 more with the left arm up. And then go ahead and take your hands in line with your chest. We're gonna lift up to plank, but just with that bent knee plank. Okay, so take a big inhale. Exhale, pop up into that bent knee plank. And here we go with those push-up plus again. So allow that shoulder blades to trough between the upper back, and then you exhale and you push away. I'm gonna come on and check you guys. Keep your elbows straight. If you're looking to strengthen your shoulder joint, I mean, this should definitely be part of the repertoire. So push up into here, more than here. Push up more like into your shoulders. That's it right there. That's it. That's it. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then drop. Yes. And then push. Now switch here. So flatten this out. There you go. Push up. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay.
Two more, then come back into child's pose when you need a break. Do you guys do that one? At home? No,
No, we're
nobody?
trying to remember now.
Yeah. Okay, downward dog. Coming through this standing, so look up between your hands. Jump, step, or walk. I'm gonna keep my feet wide, bend the knees, and then interlace the hands. Yeah. Okay, release the hands, just come halfway up, so press into the front of the shins. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Good, hands to the waist, press strong through the feet to come all the way up. Okay, now grab a block. And we'll place the block right between inner thighs. Okay. So this is part of the homework. Take your left arm out in front of you, like you're shaking somebody's hand. And this right arm is just gonna hook. So you're just making like a little hook, okay? And then keeping this left arm straight, and I'm gonna use that bottom arm to drag the top arm across. And then just reset and start over. Now, a couple things to think about. One is keeping that left shoulder down the best you can, yeah. The other thing you can think about is that the head turns opposite of the way that the arms are going. Yeah. So it's kind of like, eagle arms, it's like half of eagle arms, but I like it in and out of the movement like this. Turning your head. Let's do two more. This is, that link showing that yoga teacher from San Francisco, Jason Crandall. Okay, all right, nice. And then just go ahead and release. Take a belly root breath. Notice that shoulder that you just worked.
Feels great.
That felt good.
I've done my more when I do
Say that again.
that. I'm pretty frozen with my head going to left. When I did that, it was so much easier.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, let's take the other arm, and now we're just gonna hook. Now, for some people don't have that range, it's more like hooking of the forearm, but you can still do it, right? You can still bring it across. It doesn't have to be the elbow, right? But I'm trying to keep that arm straight. I'm trying to keep that shoulder down. And then I'm using the bottom arm to drag the top arm across. Turning the head opposite of that direction of the arm. Two more. Okay, very nice. And then bring it back to center and release. Take a breath. Nice. Oh. Okay, let's release the block, and then we'll step that right leg back into warrior one. Okay. Right leg comes back. Both arms will come up. Inhale here, and then exhale, just bend that front leg, coming into cactus. So let's inhale up. Exhale, lunge, and cactus the arms. Squeezing the upper back. Two more.
you decide how deep your lunge is, right? Okay, now next time you come into the lunge, pause there. Okay, now we're gonna take this right arm, bring it back behind us, and I'm even gonna use the other hand, the free hand, to kind of make it sure that it's almost like parallel, right? Like to the ceiling or the floor. You could even interlace your hands here, just to kind of give it that little support. Okay, now, I'm thinking of pressing this forearm into the ribs, okay? Now that's gonna stabilize this right shoulder. Do you guys feel that? Yeah, okay. Now, from here, you're gonna turn your head, just tilt your head, your left ear towards your left shoulder. You're still thinking of pressing that forearm that's behind you into your back ribs. This is also part of the homework, except he did it seated. Right, so we're just multitasking here. You could always straighten that front leg, right? You don't have to be in the lunge. Okay, and then go ahead and lift the head up, release the hands. Okay, and then let's just step up to the top of the mat. Take one belly rib rub. Now let's step the left leg back. Right leg forward, left leg back. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale into the warrior one. Okay, just 2 more rounds. Soft eyes. Okay, next time you come into the lunge, pause there. Okay, now the left hand is gonna come back behind you. I'm gonna hold on with these, just kind of interlacing the fingers here to just bring that arm over just a little bit more. Now I'm pressing that left forearm into the back ribs. Okay, it's an isometric. You guys feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Feel some muscles turning on? Okay, now keep that. Now you're gonna tilt your head to the right. So your right ear is gonna move towards your right shoulder. Mm, 2 more breaths. Okay, good. Now go ahead, bring your head back into neutral, release the arms. Okay, just stand in mountain pose just for a breath or 2 here. Just feel the shoulders. Let it be like a standing rest pose. It's like a standing shavasana. What can you feel? What can you notice? What micro currents pulsing? And go ahead and open the eyes. Okay, we're gonna step out to the side wall for just 2 quick standing poses. Okay, so first one is side angle. Right, so the right toes turn out, left toes turn in. Inhale here, exhale lunge. Good. Now you can keep your elbow to your thigh, or you can slide your hand down to hold on to your ankle. Okay, that's a deeper, it's a deeper posture for sure, but you can just keep your elbow on your thigh, sweep that top arm up and over. Now we are rotating the hand, like you're turning the lid of a pickle jar, and you're turning so that your thumb is up towards the ceiling. Nice. So just feeling that, yes, turn, thumb is up, palm is facing you. Nice lines of energy, you guys, 2 more breaths. Okay, exhale, look down. Pull with that left arm, come all the way up. And let's swap over to the other side. So first it's, the side angle, the elbow can come to the thigh, or go ahead and slide that hand down. Audrey's got a block. It's another nice. Choose a pose that that feels stable. There's at least a little amount of ease, and you can breathe. Now we're rotating that top hand. It's like you're turning the lid of a pickle jar. Turning that lid of a pickle jar so the thumb moves up. Inhaling. Exhale, look down. Pull with that right arm, come all the way up. Okay, let's go over to the first side. Okay, so balance half moon. Inhale, both arms wide. I'm gonna take this left hand to the waist just for the entrance, and then slide your hand down to lift the back leg. And you can modify this by having 2 hands on the floor or 2 hands on blocks. Right? Balance half moon. The back leg is lifted. Feeling the length in the spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. That front hip is tucking underneath of you. It's beautiful, Karen. Very nice pose. 2 more breaths. Exhale, look down, find your balance, step that left leg back. Now just take all 10 toes forward, hands to your waist, belly, rib wrap. Okay. And then turn your left toes out, right toes in, bounce out, and here we go. So I'm taking that top, or taking that back hand to the waist just for the entrance, and then maybe step that back foot in. Again, decide if you want, 2 blocks with your hands on the floor. That's kind of where the pose starts, really. Over time, you can do it with 1 hand on the floor or the block. Yeah. Feeling the length in this one. Out of the head to the tailbone. Wrapping that front buttocks underneath of you. Plug it in. 2 more breaths. Inhaling. Exhale it down. Come back to standing T. And then let's close at the top of the mat. So allowing this to be like a standing rest pose. What subtle sensations can you feel? And then open the eyes if they're closed. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, gazes to the thumbs. Exhale, bend the knees, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. 3 cobras here. Only coming up as high as it feels, that there's some semblance of ease. Exhale down. Okay, hands in line with the chest. Tuck your toes under. Take a huge inhale. Exhale, lift up, plank, and then down dog. Inhale. Exhale, lower to your knees and grab both of your blocks. All right, so this is not the yoga wheel that we were talking about before class, but it is a supported back arch. So I've got two blocks. This one I'm going to use with the flat side and then the middle height for the head. Now you could go higher for the shoulder blades and then even higher for the head, right? So this is going to be more intense, you know, the little bit higher block situation, or it's okay. So the first block is the shoulder blades. So you're going to catch the shoulder blades, which are up here. All right, now I'm running and check you guys. Supported fish pose. Now, what if the block is too much? Could take that blanket roll, right, and use that as a modification. Now the shoulder blades are pretty flat, so you should feel them flat across the block. I will check you guys. Once you get a setup that feels pretty supported, then just inhale, take the arms up. Maybe the thumbs touch the ground, but it doesn't have to. And then exhale down by your side. Okay, so just with breath here, inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. I'm gonna go higher with your shoulder blade. So put your arms down. Go around. Is that better? Inhale, arms up, exhale, arms down. Let's take two. Okay, next time your arms come down. Now we're gonna be a little bit more passive, so a couple options. One is taking the arms directly out into a T. Another is, I really like this one, holding onto your opposite elbows, kind of like a Russian dancer, you know? And then you take that up and over your head. Decide if you want to keep your knees bent or go ahead and straighten your legs. And so here we're passive, just allowing the blocks to support us. If it feels better for you to have your arms down by your side, you can do that as well. See if you can feel the 360 expansion, inflation of the ribs, and then as you exhale, feel the deflation and the ribs recoiling back to midline. You could potentially hold your breath at the top of the inhale. Maybe for one more minute. If it doesn't feel good in the spine, a couple options. One is to just bend the knees, plant the feet. Another is to just go lower with your props. Try to keep the breath smooth. Settle. It's like we're popping the chest open with our breath. Chest is the seat of prana, capital P, and prana is our life force. Let's take 3 more breaths. Now from here for the exit, take your hands behind your head like an old-fashioned sit-up. Lift your head higher than your heart. And once you have that, then you're just gonna roll onto one side with no prompts. Roll onto one side, just feel your upper back. Notice the texture, the temperature. Now we're gonna come back onto our back, but with no props. So I'm just gonna scooch these blocks off, come onto your back. Crossing at your shins, we're gonna hold on to the soles of the feet here. It's called supine sukhasana, right? Now another way you could practice, rather than crossing at your shins, is to cross at your knees, okay? And if that happens, then you can kind of switch the grip. I like to hold on more of the top of the feet or even the top of the shins. So either crossing at the knees or crossing at the shins. Either way, think about your 2 sitting bones. And it's kind of a weird movement, but I'm thinking of fishtailing 1 sitting bone down away from my head, and then take your other sitting bone down away from your head. So you're just shifting your sitting bones like fishtail, like you're a fish swimming. And then go ahead and just settle back in the middle, find some stillness. Notice the shoulders. Can you relax the shoulders back down towards the floor? And then from here, notice which leg's on top, and we're just gonna swap over to the other side. So either crossing at the shins. Sometimes if, it's not easy to reach the hands, you could even take a strap over the feet. Seen students do that. It's like an arm extender. Either crossing at the shins or crossing at the knees. And then just find that little fishtail action. A little side to side. And then go ahead and settle in the center. Sometimes meditation teachers will talk about still moving water. So it's like a lake that's very, very still, but there's still a hint of movement, right? So even when we're still in the body, we have the movement of the breath, the gentle extension of the spine as you inhale, gentle flexion of the spine as you exhale. pelvic floor widens on the inhale, draws together on the exhale. Holding on to the legs, but without just enough effort that you can really relax the shoulders. From here, uncross. Plant your feet on the ground. Take your fingertips up to the ceiling. Now I'm going to cross the right elbow over the left. And this time, just giving yourself a big bear hug. Okay, so you're just holding on to your shoulder blades, like you're giving yourself a big bear hug here. And just try to be as passive as you can. So where can you let go? Sometimes this pose is called twin peaks. It's like the elbows are forming these little twin peaks over your chest. You feel the widening in the upper back. Notice which arm's on top. And go ahead and reach the fingertips up and now take the other arm. And giving yourself a bear hug this way. The elbows aren't really up to the ceiling. They're really more down towards your chest. If you can work that out where there's, little to no muscular involvement. One more pose before Shavasana. And I'd like to give you an option of either happy baby. So just holding onto the feet are wide, or you haven't done a lot of hip flexion, but if you feel like, you're just like, oh, I just, I always want to work on hip extension, then you can just do the bridge on the block. Okay, so either bridge on the block. Again, we didn't do a lot of this, hip flexion, but it still feels really nice. Or if you want to take the happy baby. Pose is Shavasana. So go ahead and transition yourself To use a blanket for the head. It's the back of that's pretty full, so. As you're positioning your blankets, it's also really nice, especially because we did a shoulder class, that when you lay your head onto the blanket, the bottom of the blanket comes right up to the shoulders. Okay, and that's just a really nice way to. Here, Dan, I'm gonna give you this. Oh, I see what you're doing, okay, yeah. So come down into the rest. And all the little minute adjustments. Making sure that you're plenty warm. Raise your hand if you wish you had another blanket. Okay, coming. Another blanket, Audrey. Okay. Notice the back of the skull. Dropping back. Dropping back. Notice the backs of the shoulders, heavy. And the shoulder blades like sheets of slate or rock settling down into a pond.